Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We have so much to unpack about the absolute mess going on in Salem right now. So grab a coffee. Let's get right into it. So let's talk about Abe Carver. The man is a legend, a total pillar of the community, but right now his life is a total disaster. An absolute emotional train wreck because Lexi is back from the dead. And Paulina just stepped aside. And Abe got the impossible gift of his first wife returning. But here's the thing. That miracle, it has an expiration date, and it is going to end badly. Very badly. Because we are looking at a situation where Abe and Paulina will never reconcile. Ever. Even if Lexi dies again, and she probably will. So Abe is going to be left with nothing. Just grief. And guilt and a whole lot of pain because Paulina is mad. She is furious, actually, and she has every right to be, because Abe just let her walk away. He didn't fight for her, and that is a price he is going to pay for a very long time. But let's back up. Let's look at how we got here, because the return of Lexi was never going to be simple. Not in Salem. Not with the DiMeras involved. So EJ found out that Stefano had Dr. Rolf freeze Lexi in a stasis pod way back in 2012 because of her brain tumor. Remember that? The toxic gas in the DiMera tunnels. It was tragic. Heartbreaking. Stefano wanted to buy time to cure it. So he had Rolf put her on ice. And that secret stayed buried for years, decades even, until Paulina started poking around. She was investigating local power issues. The grid was acting up because keeping a resurrection pod running takes a lot of juice. And she stumbled way too close to the truth. So EJ used the resurrected Lexi as leverage against her. Paulina tried to keep the secret. She tried to protect her marriage. But the truth always comes out. And Lexi woke up. She walked right out of those tunnels. And she woke up to a grown Theo and to an Abe who was married to someone else. And that brings us to the impossible choice. Lexi is the woman Abe thought he buried. The great love of his life. The woman he mourned for over a decade. And in the eyes of the law, she might still be his wife. But Paulina is his present. She was his safe harbor. Remember what Paulina went through with TR Coates? The abuse, the trauma. Abe was her rock. He was the man who showed her what real love was. But Lexi, roaring back from the past, just blew all of that up. And Paulina saw the writing on the wall. She saw it before Abe could even fully speak. So instead of forcing him to choose, instead of making him pick between the ghost of his past and the woman standing right in front of him, she packed her bags. She stepped aside. She allowed him to reunite with Lexi, and it was generous, but it was also so incredibly painful. But do not mistake her sacrifice for weakness, because Paulina is angry. Deep down, she is seething. She stepped aside, yes. But she expected Abe to stop her. She expected him to grab her hand, to say, "No, you are my wife now. We will figure this out together." But he didn't. He let her go. He just accepted her exit. And that stings. It burns. Because nobody wants to be the second choice. Paulina loves Abe, but being someone's backup plan after grief blows up the house, that is a hard sell. She is a proud woman, a strong woman, and Abe just tossed her aside the second Lexi opened her eyes. So the damage is done. The trust is broken. The foundation of their marriage is just shattered into a million pieces. Pieces that can never be glued back together. And now we have the ticking clock. the Versavix drug, the miracle cure that Dr. Rolf cooked up in his creepy little lab, well, it is failing. We already know the lab rat died. We know Doctor. Rolf is panicking. And Lexi is having headaches. She is dizzy. She is showing all the symptoms. The cure is not permanent. It was just a temporary fix. A cruel trick of science. So Lexi's life is in danger all over again. And this just makes the whole mess even more cruel. Because Abe got her back just to lose her again. The universe is playing a sick joke on him. And EJ is to blame for playing God. But Abe is the one who is going to suffer the consequences. So if Lexi dies again, and all signs point to yes, Abe is going to have to grieve twice. Imagine that. Mourning your wife in 2012. Crying over her grave. Finally moving on. Finding love again with Paulina. Building a whole new life. And then your dead wife comes back. You blow up your new life for her, and then she dies again. It is too much. It is just too much trauma for one person to handle. Abe is going to be crushed. He is going to be a shell of a man. The grief will be unbearable, but the guilt will be even worse, because he will have to face the fact that he let Paulina walk away for nothing. He sacrificed his present for a past that could not stay, and here is the harsh reality. There's no going back. Abe cannot just run back to Paulina after Lexi dies. It does not work like that. Paulina is not a consolation prize. She is not a safety net that you can just fall back into when your first choice expires. So even if Lexi gives them her blessing before she dies, even if she tells Abe to go back to Paulina and be happy, it won't matter. A blessing from a dying woman does not erase the damage. It does not erase the fact that Abe chose Lexi when she was alive. Paulina knows where she stands. And she stands in second place, and she will never accept that. Never. So Abe is doomed. He is going to end up with a broken heart, a broken marriage, and absolutely no clean path back to the woman who tried to love him enough to leave. He is going to be alone, sitting in that empty apartment, thinking about the choices he made, and it is tragic. It is really just so sad, but it is the bed he made. He let Paulina walk out that door. He did not fight for her, and now he is going to pay the price, a very painful, very lonely price, and you have to look at the psychology of it all. Abe has always been the good guy, the moral compass of Salem, the guy who always does the right thing, but grief makes people do crazy things. Seeing Lexi alive just short-circuited his brain. He couldn't think straight. He couldn't process the pain he was causing Paulina. He just saw the woman he lost and reverted back to 2012. But time didn't stop. The world kept spinning, and Paulina's feelings are valid. She was his wife. She stood by him through so much, and he just dropped her. So you can't really blame Paulina for holding a grudge. You can't blame her for keeping her distance, because the betrayal is just too deep. And what about Theo? He is caught in the middle of all this too. Watching his dad navigate this mess, watching his mom die all over again. It is a family tragedy on a epic scale. And EJ DiMera is just sitting in his mansion watching the fallout of his twisted science experiment. EJ played God, and the Carver family is paying the ultimate price. But at the end of the day, Abe made his choice. And when the dust settles and the tears dry, he will have to look in the mirror and realize he lost both women. Forever. Just completely alone. And that is the hardest pill to swallow. And honestly, the whole town of Salem is going to be watching this train wreck unfold. People like Marlena are watching. She is seeing Abe completely lose his grip on reality. Because when you play with life and death, nobody wins. Doctor. Rolf's serums always come with a catch. Always. And Abe was too blinded by love to see the catch. He just wanted his Lexi back. But in grabbing onto the past, he let his future slip right through his fingers. Paulina's gonna move on. She has to. She has Chanel to worry about. Chanel is dealing with her own massive health crisis with the breast cancer and the pregnancy. So Paulina is going to channel all her fierce mama bear energy into her daughter. She won't have time to sit around and wait for Abe to realize he made a mistake. She is going to build a wall around her heart. A massive, impenetrable wall. And Abe will never be able to climb it. So that is the tragedy of Abe Carver. He got a miracle, but it cost him absolutely everything.